Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Hello, everybody. This is Howard, and I am back. Day 4 here in beautiful Alaska. I am on the Wilderness Discoverer. That's a cruise ship that is run by UnCruise Adventures. What a wonderful organization, and their ships, at least here in Alaska, they're taking you up where no other ship gets to go. It kind of feels that way because there's some very beautiful surroundings. It's a very intimate ship. It's a relatively small number of guests, and I think this is what makes this cruise very exciting. Now I'm here with Chad and Christina from Big Rapids, Michigan, and Roger and Lisa from Temple, Texas. Now, this is a little me leaning in because I wouldn't normally interview 4 people with one mic at the same time, but there's a very special connection here. But first off, I want to chat a little bit with Chad and Christina from Big Rapids. So, guys, what brought you to want to take part with UnCruise Adventures, and why did you pick the Wilderness Discoverer?
Well, Alaska was on our bucket list, and this is our 25th wedding anniversary, so it fit perfect for our bucket list. So that's what we did. We signed up, and the UnCruise was Christina did the research on the cruise process. We did larger cruises before, and we didn't care for it, so we figured we'd try this one out.
That's fantastic. Now, Christina, what did you go through to decide on the particular cruise ship, and why this particular ship? I mean, because I can venture a guess, but what was going on in your head, like when you said, Chad, I know what we're going to be doing here?
Well, actually, I wanted to try to fit in land, Denali, all the central Alaska too, but unfortunately, while we're still working, that wasn't feasible. So we knew we had to fit a lot of adventure in a short amount of time. And so just researching, we wanted to get in the inlets and in the thick of things and be able to not just get off at port of calls on like a large cruise. We wanted something where we could be adventurous and pick something to do, get off, stretch our legs, do things, and see things that we wouldn't normally on a big cruise where you can get into smaller spaces.
Okay. Now, if I hope I have the right couple out. Is there some special event going on besides being out here with our soon to be chatted with other guests?
Like as far as our 25th wedding anniversary?
It could be that 25th wedding anniversary.
It is, yeah. So actually just May 15th we celebrated 25 years. So, yep, 3 kids later, and we've been on some share of trips. But yes, Alaska was definitely on our bucket list for our 25th wedding anniversary. So to figure out exactly what we wanted to do and how to do it, so this is what we came up with.
That's fantastic. Well, happy anniversary. I can't believe it's 25. You guys look like kids. I mean, Chad, you've got a little bit of the gray going with the beard, but us guys do that, and we
That's
also
right.
lose a little bit on the top.
It's knowledge, right? It's knowledge, right?
It's definitely knowledge. And so joining Chad and Christina are Roger and Lisa from Temple, Texas. So I'm curious, what is the connection to these guys here, Lisa?
Okay, well, Christina is my sister. She's my younger sister by 8 years. So I've got 8 years on her, and my husband Roger has almost 10 years on these guys. So, but this whole cruise thing, we kind of decided it together because for me, I wanted to help participate with this because we had Alaska on our bucket list also, and so it gives us an opportunity to spend time together, which I live in Texas and they still live in Michigan. And so this was an awesome way for us to also celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary with their 25th wedding anniversary. So
You're both celebrating your 25th anniversary. That is wonderful. So I was going to say, Roger, so how did you get roped into this? But how are you feeling about all the...
Yeah, I really don't know, but they said we need to go to Alaska, and then we kind of researched it out, and we found that this place in this itinerary gave us 2 days in Glacier Bay, and we couldn't find anything else that did that. And also it gave us 2 days where you could get off the boat and kayak, so it kind of fit both of our needs, and there's just not that many experiences out there that gave us that opportunity. So that's kind of what really kind of steered us this way.
Okay. So I am curious. We are on day 4. I hope I have the day right. I think it's 4. Yes. Thank you, Christina. She did the counting on her fingers for me. We've been kind of easing into some of the excursions, the kayaking, the light hiking. I'm really into the skiffing. I just sit down, take pictures. But you guys went on a monster day hike today. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we did it was like a 3-hour hike. It was about 3 miles too, right? About 3 miles. So we just went into the forest and hiked around and got a chance to see what the lower tundra was all about, I suppose, and experienced some of the shoreline afterwards once the skiff came back in and picked us back up. But yeah, it was just a good experience to see what the forest was like on the lower end of the mountains.
Excellent. So, Christina, what wildlife did you get a chance to either observe or witness on the ground, prints kind of on the ground?
Okay, so on the bushwhack that we went on this afternoon, we did see some bear paws prints and a lot of fresh scat. And
This is a children's show, but yeah, scat, that's a scientific term. Okay, I'm sorry. Christina, back to you.
and no, as far as a lot of deer tracks, a lot of I guess evidence of deer, and we did see moose, scat. But this morning we actually went on a shoreline meander as well, and so that was a completely different feel than what we got in the bushwhack. It was very neat seeing the marine life and the different living organisms on the low tide that we had, and we actually happened to see some harbor porpoises, and a couple of humpback whales were out there in the bay swimming around. So yeah, that's what we saw this morning and this afternoon. So
That sounds like a good time. Now, Lisa, since you have been out, we are in day 4. What has been the highlights so far? I know there's a lot of highlights to come, but as far as where we are today, it's the end of the day. The adult beverages are on the table. We're sailing to our next destination. I know you're wondering, why is this guy interviewing me right now, asking me these questions? But what's been your highlight so far?
Probably for me, it's been the humpback whales. The whales was one of the things that we really wanted to see when we came. But man, there's so much. I mean, we've seen the porpoises today. We saw these starfish that were incredible. But I would say probably the humpback whales, because you don't get to see something like that. And to the surroundings are just immaculate. They're so spectacular. To see that in its natural habitat is absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much. Now, Roger, there's 3. This is day 4. 3 more days. What's on the itinerary, at least for the next day or 2?
Yeah, I have no idea, because we make selections and we'll go execute them and see what we see. But they tell us where we're going, and we look on maps and we try to figure out where that's at. But the crew's been great about kind of taking us through and giving us options and giving us choices. Like Lisa said, we got to see starfish and the coastline in the morning, and then we was up in the woods and bushwhacking in the afternoon. Tomorrow we're going to get on a kayak and be able to float around unsupervised. And then we're going to get on a skiff. Maybe we'll sit next to you and fly around and see. And then after that, we just don't know. But we really expect it's going to be spectacular no matter what it is.
No doubt about that. I appreciate that. And I'm excited. I haven't yet done the bushwhack. I need to really lean in, so I'm kind of waiting for the easy bushwhack, but I know I'll get at least one of those in. Not today, that's true. So I am curious, well, actually, one question. Getting ready for the trip, clothing-wise, equipment-wise, what was important for you?
Well, for this one, that they always tell you to wear the boots, the rubber high knee boots, the rain pants. Those are kind of important. I guess it really just depends on how you're built for temperature. You know, some people run hot, some people run cold. And for me, I run hot, so I don't do a lot of base layers or anything like that. But when you're going through that heavy brush, having a coat or something with long sleeves and some sort of pants, it's definitely helpful because you're pushing away some of the shrubbery, and some things are pokey, some things are not. And it just kind of helps protect, your skin. Some people's skin's more sensitive than others. So it just easy going through all that stuff. So you're going to go through, in a bushwhack, you're going to go through a lot of brush for sure.
How about yourself, Christina? Did you, go on to Amazon, REI? I mean, I used to live above an REI. They're my best friends. They send me cards every year. Howard, where are you? But where was your go-to place to get the equipment and the clothing that you needed?
So I do love REI as well. But I would say layers is key, because you can take from the boat to the shore, you're taking a skiff ride, which can get very, very cold at times and potentially wet. But then once you get on shore and you're bushwhacking for 3 miles, or you're a mile in going up 200-foot elevation, you are sweating by the time, so you have to be able to take off layers and adjust, and do that. I would say the key thing, like Chad mentioned, was the boots, but mine would be probably the Gore-Tex rain pants, just to protect your other pants from getting wet, because the water just right off. So
Very good. So let's turn, if we can, a little bit to the ship and the crew. How has that experience been for you, coming on the ship, being welcomed here, being shown to your room? We've got great food selections, and overall, the bar, very well stacked bar. We get to have very creative cocktails, at least, well, some of us do. But what's been your experience with the crew and the ship?
For me, I think that they've been very accommodating. They try to make you happy no matter what the ask. And so that part of it, the food has been fantastic. I don't know the last time I've actually ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, in 3 course. So the food's been really great. And they actually set out a lot. I think the main thing Chad was worried about is where was his snacks, because that guy eats like every 2 hours. So he was very worried about getting enough snacks. So it's been absolutely wonderful, because they also, when you come back from a hard day, they also have some cookies hanging out, and they have some fruit hanging out. And so it's just been very, very good. And the staff, as far as the room cleaning, they're very explicit on, you kind of put up a sign whenever you want service, and you turn the sign if you don't want service in your room. And they have absolutely adhered to that. And so they've done an excellent job, in my opinion.
Thank you for that, Lisa. So, Roger, as we kind of end today's episode, and you've got to go deep for this one, okay?
Oh,
I told you there was no gotchas, but it's kind of a
gotcha.
gotcha question. You're a big boy. You can handle this. If you're having a conversation with some folks, because they're going to hopefully see some of the photos, they're going to hear your stories, what is your insight that you'd like to share with them about taking a cruise like UnCruise Adventures, being on a ship like the Wilderness Discoverer?
well, I think the UnCruise website goes into great detail about the clothing you might need, the things you might run into. I mean, we always kind of laugh because they can't predict the future and they can't talk about what the weather's going to be tomorrow. We've been very, very fortunate about that, but their website is very detailed about what you should expect and what you can, how to prepare. and once you arrive, what you can do to make your stay even better. And their staff their knowledge level has been really, really exceptional. To find the guys that are driving the boats and the level of expertise that they have in the skiffs, the guides that are out there talking about the plant life and the things like that. You're not going to find that in too many places. And I was really, really surprised at the level of expertise that these people, and these are very young people, that they have.
Very good. Very good. Listen, guys, I really want to thank you for joining me on this short podcast. We call them podcast shorts here in Alaska, Glacier Bay, which I know we're not in Glacier Bay National Park anymore, but we are out on the water, beautiful surroundings, and I really want to thank you for taking the time for this, participating in this short interview. I really appreciate it. Any final thoughts before we head out today?
Well, I guess if you're thinking about doing an Alaska adventure, do it before it's too late and you don't have the money, or you think you're too old, or whatever the case is. Just get up and do it. Sign up for it and enjoy what America has to offer.
Very good. Very good. Great words. And I think we sometimes we put things in our way and we say another day, but eventually that that another day maybe doesn't come, and this is a great way to take advantage of it. Chad and Christina from Big Rapids, Michigan, and Roger and Lisa from Temple, Texas. It's been great to get to know you, and happy anniversary. 25 years, hard to believe, but I wish you the very best for both of you and your families, friends, and again, thank you so much for taking the time to join me on today's podcast. To learn more about UnCruise Adventures, visit their website at uncruise.com. You can also learn more on their social sites, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you enjoy podcasts devoted to outdoor adventure, find us online at outdooradventureseries.com. And remember, we welcome likes, comments, and sharing. You can also find us on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube pages by searching for Outdoor Adventure Series. And you can also find us on all of the leading podcast platforms. All the links that we mentioned just now can be found in our show notes for this episode. And until next time, we look forward to having you join us for a new episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care.